Hello, dear friends and chosen ones of God. Today, we have the opportunity to come together to talk about a celestial event that is about to happen and promises to bring light and reflection to our lives. In January 2025, Comet C 2024 G3 Atlas will make its closest approach to the Sun, inviting us to look up at the sky and at the same time within ourselves. Comets have always been seen as special signs, bringing messages of transformation and renewal. In this gathering, we will explore what the appearance of this comet may mean for us, both in terms of observation and spiritual significance. How can we prepare for this moment? What lessons can we learn from its passage? Additionally, we will reflect on the importance of being attentive to the signs that God sends us and how these celestial phenomena can inspire us to strengthen our faith and spiritual commitment. So, before we dive into this fascinating topic, I invite you to follow our channel. This way, you will stay updated on all our discussions and reflections. Let's discover together what Comet C 2024 G3 ATLAS has to teach us. Chosen ones, we are about to experience an extraordinary celestial event that invites us to look to the sky and reflect on our lives. In January 2025, Comet C 2024 G3 Atlas will make its closest approach to the Sun, and this offers us a unique opportunity to observe a phenomenon that, for many, is more than just a visual spectacle. It is a moment of spiritual connection and renewal. This comet, which was discovered in April 2024, is preparing to shine brightly. On January 13th, it will reach its peak brightness, with a predicted magnitude of -4. To give you an idea, this means it will be as bright as Venus, one of the brightest objects in the night sky. For those in the southern hemisphere, viewing will be easier, as the comet will be higher in the sky, allowing many of us to see it with the naked eye. However, for friends in the northern hemisphere, observation may be a bit more challenging due to the proximity of the Sun, which may obscure the view of the comet. But regardless of where you are, the message that this comet brings is universal. Historically, comets have been seen as divine messengers, symbolizing significant changes and spiritual transformations. The appearance of Comet 2024 G3 invites us to reflect on our own lives and seek a spiritual awakening. It is a reminder that, just like the comet, we also go through cycles of light and darkness, and that each of us has the capacity to shine brightly, even in challenging times. As we approach the date of maximum visibility, it is a good time to dedicate time to prayer, meditation, and the study of scriptures. These moments of introspection can help us understand the messages that God may be conveying to us through this celestial phenomenon. The comet reminds us that, even amid the hustle and bustle of daily life, there is always space for contemplation and the search for a greater purpose. Furthermore, the passage of Comet C 2024 G3 can be seen as an invitation to strengthen our faith and renew our commitment to divine purposes. It is an opportunity to look within ourselves and evaluate our spiritual journey. What can we learn from this experience? How can we align ourselves more with God's teachings? These are questions we can ask ourselves as we prepare to observe this magnificent comet. The Bible teaches us that signs in the heavens are indicators of significant events. In Matthew 24:29, we read about signs that precede the return of Christ, and the appearance of a comet can be interpreted as a reminder of divine sovereignty. It is a call for us to be spiritually prepared and attentive to the messages that surround us. Just as ancient sky watchers saw comets as omens of change, we can also look at C 2024 G3 as a sign of hope and renewal. As we prepare for the observation of the comet, it is important to remember that each of us has a role to play in this great cosmic spectacle. we can unite in prayer and reflection, seeking to understand what God wishes to teach us through this event. How about dedicating some time to connect with nature, observe the sky, and meditate on your own spiritual journey? This can be a powerful way to align with the energies that the comet brings. So, as we look to the sky on January 13th, even if where you are it is not possible to see it, it is important to reflect on the deeper meaning that these celestial phenomena have for us. After all, we know it is passing. Historically, comets have been seen as divine messengers, symbolizing significant changes and spiritual transformations. Their appearance in the skies is often interpreted as a call to reflection and spiritual awakening. Since ancient times, civilizations around the world have observed comets and attributed special meanings to them. For many peoples, the arrival of a comet was seen as a portent of important events, such as wars, changes in leadership, or even spiritual renewals. Ancient astronomers and mystics believed that these celestial bodies brought messages from God, warning people of the need to prepare for the changes that were to come. The sight of a comet in the sky can be a powerful symbol of transformation. Just as a comet travels long distances in space, often going through periods of darkness and solitude, we also face our own life journeys, filled with challenges and changes. The passage of a comet reminds us that, even amid difficulties, there is always the possibility of renewal and enlightenment. It is an invitation to look within ourselves and assess where we are on our spiritual journey. When a comet appears, it invites us to reflect on our lives and consider the changes we need to make. It is a propitious moment for introspection and self-knowledge. We can ask ourselves, what is this comet telling me? What changes do I need to make in my life to align more with divine purposes? These questions can help us find clarity and direction in our spiritual walk. Furthermore, the light of a comet can be seen as a symbol of hope. In times of uncertainty and darkness, the sight of a bright comet can remind us that there is always a light at the end of the tunnel. This light encourages us to keep moving forward, even when the paths seem difficult. Just as the comet shines brightly on its journey, we are also called to shine in our own lives, reflecting God's light to those around us. Comets also play an important role in spiritual and religious traditions. In many cultures, they are seen as bearers of divine messages. For example, in the Christian tradition, the star that guided the Magi to the birth of Jesus is often associated with a comet. This star not only illuminated the way, but also symbolized the arrival of a new time, a new hope. Similarly, the appearance of Comet C 2024 G3 can be interpreted as a sign that God is calling us to a new beginning, a new phase in our lives. Spirituality also teaches us that comets can be seen as symbols of purification. Just as a comet undergoes a transformation process as it approaches the sun, we are also invited to undergo a process of spiritual purification. This may involve leaving behind old habits, limiting beliefs, and everything that no longer serves us. The light of the comet can inspire us to seek renewal and liberation from everything that prevents us from living fully. Additionally, the passage of a comet can be a moment of celebration and gratitude. It is an opportunity to recognize the blessings in our lives and to express our gratitude to God for all that He provides us. As we observe the comet, we can remember that we are part of something greater, of a vast and wonderful universe created by a loving God. This connection helps us cultivate a sense of belonging and feel closer to the Creator. As we prepare for the appearance of Comet C 2024 G3, it is essential that we remain open to the messages it may bring. We can dedicate moments to prayer and meditation, seeking to discern what God wishes to teach us through this celestial phenomenon. How about creating a space in your home or in your heart to reflect on your spiritual intentions and desires? This space can be a sacred place where you connect with God and prepare for the changes to come. Thus, the appearance of Comet C 2024 G3 Atlas in the skies is a powerful sign that invites us to reflect on our spiritual journey. For the chosen ones of God, this event is not just an astronomical spectacle, but a call to strengthen faith and renew spiritual commitment. The light of the comet reminds us that there is always space for introspection and alignment with divine purposes. As I have mentioned, the presence of a comet in the sky is often interpreted as a sign of transformation. Just as ancient observers saw comets as omens, we can also understand the arrival of Comet ATLAS as an invitation to look within ourselves and assess our spiritual walk. It is a propitious moment to reflect on how we are living our faith and whether we are aligned with the purposes that God has for us. Renewing spiritual commitment goes beyond participating in rituals or religious practices. It is about living according to divine teachings in our daily lives. This involves acting with love, compassion, and integrity in all areas of our lives. The comet invites us to reflect on how we can be instruments of peace and light in the world, bringing hope and encouragement to those around us. The appearance of Comet ATLAS can also be seen as a call to strengthen faith in times of uncertainty. We live in a world filled with challenges and difficulties, and it is easy to lose hope. However, the light of the comet reminds us that, even in the darkest nights, there is always a light that shines. This light is our faith, which guides and sustains us in times of tribulation. As we contemplate the beauty of the comet, we are reminded that God is always with us, even when we cannot see the way ahead. This call to faith invites us to share our light with others. As chosen ones of God, we have the responsibility to be beacons of hope and love in a world that often seems dark. We can use the opportunity of the comet's appearance to inspire those around us to seek a deeper connection with God. Organizing a gathering with friends and family to observe the comet together can be a way to unite people and share spiritual reflections. The introspection that the comet inspires in us can lead us to a deeper alignment with divine purposes. Each of us has a unique and special calling, and the appearance of the comet can be a reminder that it is time to align ourselves with that calling. We can ask ourselves, what is God asking me to do at this moment in my life? How can I better serve others and fulfill the purpose He has for me? This alignment with divine purposes can manifest in various ways. For some, it may mean dedicating more time to prayer and meditation, seeking to discern God's will. For others, it may be a call to engage in community service, helping those in need. Regardless of how this manifests, the important thing is to be open and willing to follow the direction that God gives us. As we prepare for the appearance of Comet C 2024 G3, it is essential that we remain attentive to the messages that God may be conveying to us. We can dedicate moments to prayer and meditation, seeking to discern what He wishes to teach us through this celestial phenomenon. Being open to hearing His voice and following His guidance in our lives is fundamental. The passage of Comet ATLAS is a unique opportunity for all of us. It is a moment to reflect on our lives, seek transformation, and connect with divine purposes. Taking this opportunity to shine brightly in our own lives, just as the comet will shine in our skies, is an invitation we should not ignore. The light of this comet can inspire us to live with faith, hope, and love, always seeking the truth and the light that God offers us. Thus, the passage of Comet C 2024 G3 Atlas may activate something uncommon in the chosen ones of God, awakening a renewed sense of purpose and spiritual connection. This celestial phenomenon is not just an astronomical event. It is a catalyst that can lead the faithful to a new understanding of their mission on Earth. As the comet shines in our skies, many may feel an inner urge to deepen their faith, seeking not only personal transformation, but also a positive impact on the lives of those around them. This call may manifest in various ways. Some may discover a burning desire to engage in acts of service, helping the needy and promoting social justice. Others may feel the need to dedicate more time to prayer and meditation, seeking a deeper connection with God. This spiritual activation may result in a wave of compassion and solidarity, where the chosen become beacons of hope in a world that often seems lost. Furthermore, the light of the comet may inspire a renewal in the way the chosen share their faith. Instead of limiting themselves to traditional religious practices, many may be led to explore new forms of evangelization, using technology and social media to reach those who do not yet know the message of love and redemption of Christ. This innovative approach can open doors to meaningful dialogues and spiritual connections that previously seemed impossible. As the date of maximum visibility for Comet C 2024 G3 ATLAS approaches, it is a propitious moment to reflect on how we can spiritually prepare for this unique experience. This event is not just an opportunity to observe an astronomical phenomenon. It is an invitation to deepen our connection with God and reflect on our lives. How can we prepare for this experience? What can we do to align ourselves with divine purposes while we await the appearance of this comet? Prayer is a powerful way to connect with God. By dedicating time to prayer, we open our hearts and minds to receive His guidance and wisdom. Ask yourself, am I dedicating enough time to talk to God? Am I listening to His voice in my life? Prayer allows us to express our concerns, gratitude, and desires, as well as helping us find peace amid the hustle and bustle of daily life. In prayer, we can ask God to reveal what He wants to teach us through the appearance of the comet. Meditation also plays an important role in this process. It allows us to silence the mind and focus on the present. Ask yourself, am I taking time to calm down and reflect on my life? Am I open to receiving insights and clarity? Meditation can help us find answers to questions we have in our hearts and align ourselves with God's will. During this waiting period for the comet, set aside moments to sit in silence, breathe deeply, and allow God's peace to flood your being. Studying the scriptures is fundamental for better understanding God's message and the principles He wants us to follow. By reading the Bible, we can find inspiration and guidance for our lives. Ask yourself, am I dedicating time to study the scriptures? Am I seeking to understand what God is telling me through His Word? The Bible is filled with stories and teachings that help us understand the nature of God and His plan for us. As we prepare for the appearance of the comet, we can seek passages that speak of light, transformation, and hope, allowing these messages to resonate in our hearts. Discerning the messages that God is conveying can be a challenge, but it is an essential part of our spiritual journey. Ask yourself, am I attentive to the small things that God may be showing me? Am I willing to listen and follow His guidance? To discern divine messages, it is important to be in a state of openness and receptivity. This may involve the practice of prayer, meditation, and studying the scriptures, but it also requires us to be attentive to the circumstances and experiences in our lives. God may speak to us through other people, events, or even through our own feelings and intuitions. Be willing to pay attention to the signs that may arise as you prepare for the celestial event. Community unity is an important part of our spiritual journey. Ask yourself, am I sharing my faith and experiences with others? Am I seeking support and encouragement in my community? As we prepare for the appearance of the comet, consider the possibility of gathering with friends, family, or members of your faith community. Organizing a gathering to observe the comet together can be an opportunity to share spiritual reflections and strengthen the bonds of love and faith among you. Fellowship with others who share your faith can enrich your experience and provide a safe space to discuss your hopes and concerns. Maintaining focus on God amid the distractions of the modern world can be challenging. Ask yourself, am I doing enough to prioritize my relationship with God? Am I creating an environment that fosters my spiritual connection? To stay focused, consider establishing a daily routine that includes moments of prayer, meditation, and studying the scriptures. This can be as simple as setting aside a few minutes in the morning or evening to connect with God. Additionally, create a space in your home that is dedicated to prayer and reflection, where you can retreat to focus on your spiritual life. Ask yourself, am I open to changes in my life? Am I willing to let go of what no longer serves me? This is a propitious moment to reflect on the areas of your life that need transformation. This may involve releasing old habits, seeking new beginnings, or renewing spiritual commitments. Be willing to allow God to work in your life, shaping and transforming you into His image. Cultivating a spirit of gratitude is a powerful practice that helps us recognize the blessings in our lives. Ask yourself, am I expressing gratitude to God for all He has done for me? Am I aware of the small and great blessings that surround me? By cultivating a spirit of gratitude, we can open ourselves to receive even more blessings. Consider keeping a gratitude journal, where you can write down the things you are grateful for each day. This will not only help you focus on the blessings, but also prepare you to receive the light and hope that the comet represents. As we spiritually prepare for the passage of Comet C 2024 G3ATLAS, remember that this is a moment of opportunity and reflection. By dedicating time to prayer, meditation, and studying the scriptures, we can align ourselves with divine purposes and open ourselves to the messages that God wishes to convey to us. Be willing to listen, reflect, and transform, allowing the light of the comet to illuminate your path and guide you on your spiritual journey. In light of all this, the passage of Comet C 2024 G3ATLAS invites us to reflect on the spiritual meaning of the signs in the heavens, as mentioned in the Bible. Scripture teaches us that celestial phenomena are not mere astronomical events, but rather divine messages that alert us to the importance of being attentive and prepared for God's plans. In Matthew 24:29, we read that, "Immediately after the tribulation of those days, the sun will be darkened, the moon will not give its light, and the stars will fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens will be shaken." This verse reminds us that the signs in the heavens are often associated with significant events in the history of salvation. Comets, in particular, have been seen throughout history as symbols of change and transformation. They appear unexpectedly and are often preceded by periods of uncertainty or turmoil. The Bible teaches us that God uses signs in the heavens to communicate His will and to prepare us for what is to come. The appearance of Comet Atlas can be interpreted as a reminder of divine sovereignty and the importance of being spiritually prepared for the challenges and changes that may arise in our lives. When we consider biblical history, we find several examples of signs in the heavens that had a profound impact on the lives of God's people. One of the most notable examples is the star that guided the Magi to the birth of Jesus. In Matthew 2:2, we read that the Magi said, "We saw his star in the east, and have come to worship him. This star not only indicated the birth of the Savior, but also symbolized the light that came into the world to bring hope and redemption. Just as the Magi followed the star, we are called to follow the light of Christ in our own lives, especially when signs like the comet appear in our skies. Furthermore, in Genesis 1:14, God tells us that the signs in the heavens were created to mark times and seasons. And God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heavens to separate the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years." This reminds us that celestial phenomena have a divine purpose, and that we should be attentive to them. The appearance of Comet Atlas can be seen as a sign that God is calling us to reflect on our lives and prepare for what is to come. The Bible also teaches us about the importance of being spiritually prepared. In Luke 21:25-28, Jesus speaks about signs in the heavens and encourages us not to fear, but to lift up our heads, for our redemption is drawing near. And there will be signs in the sun, in the moon, and in the stars, and on the earth, distress of nations, with perplexity at the roaring of the sea and the waves, men's hearts failing them from fear, and the expectation of those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of the heavens will be shaken. Then they will see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. Now when these things begin to happen, look up and lift up your heads, because your redemption draws near. This passage reminds us that even in times of uncertainty, we must keep our faith and hope in God. Additionally, the Bible teaches us that the signs in the heavens can be an invitation to reflection and transformation. In Joel 2:30-31 we read, "And I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood, before the coming of the great and awesome day of the Lord." These verses remind us that the signs in the heavens may precede moments of great importance, and that we must be ready to respond to God's call. The appearance of the comet can be a moment of spiritual renewal, where we are invited to leave behind what no longer serves us and seek a life more aligned with the teachings of Christ. Reflecting on the signs in the heavens also leads us to consider our own lives and our relationship with God. Ask yourself, am I attentive to the signs that God is showing me? Am I willing to listen and follow His guidance? The appearance of Comet Atlas may be an opportunity to reassess our priorities and reconnect with our faith. It is a moment to reflect on how we are living and whether we are aligned with divine purposes. This is an opportunity to reflect on God's sovereignty and the importance of being spiritually prepared. The signs in the heavens remind us that God is always present, guiding us and calling us to a life of faith and commitment. May we take this moment to connect more deeply with God, seeking His guidance and allowing the light of the comet to illuminate our path. The observation of Comet C 2024 G3ATLAS represents a unique opportunity for all of God's chosen ones to reflect on their spiritual journeys. This celestial event is not just a visual spectacle, but a divine invitation for each of us to deepen our relationship with the Creator. As the comet approaches, we are reminded of God's greatness and the beauty of His creation, which manifests not only in the stars, but also in our daily lives. The passage of a comet is a phenomenon that occurs rarely, and its appearance in the skies can be seen as a sign that God is calling us to deeper reflection. It is a moment to evaluate where we are in our spiritual walk. Ask yourself, am I living according to God's teachings? Am I seeking a closer connection with Him? This is the ideal time to reassess our priorities and ask ourselves if we are truly aligned with divine purposes. The light of the comet can symbolize the light of Christ in our lives. Just as the comet shines in the sky, we are called to shine in our world, reflecting God's light to those around us. In Matthew 5:16, Jesus teaches us that we should let our light shine before men, so that they may see our good works and glorify God. This celestial event inspires us to live in a way that glorifies the Creator and inspires others to seek the divine light. Furthermore, the observation of the comet invites us to a moment of introspection and renewal. It is an opportunity to leave behind old habits and commit to living in a way that is more aligned with the teachings of Christ. Spiritual transformation is an ongoing process, and the appearance of the comet can be a catalyst for this change. May we take this moment to commit to seeking holiness and living according to the principles that God has taught us. The observation of Comet C 2024 G3 also reminds us of the importance of community. By gathering with friends and family to observe the comet, we can share our reflections and spiritual experiences. Fellowship with others who share our faith can enrich our journey and help us grow together in our relationship with God. Consider organizing a gathering to observe the comet and discuss what this event means for each of us. This unity can strengthen our bonds and encourage us to live more fully. As we prepare for the appearance of the comet, it is essential that we remain open to the messages that God may be conveying to us. Be attentive to the signs that may arise in your life and be willing to listen to God's voice. Prayer, meditation, and studying the scriptures are valuable tools that help us discern divine will. By dedicating time to these practices, we can align ourselves more deeply with God's purposes and prepare for what He wishes to teach us. This celestial event also invites us to cultivate a spirit of gratitude. Thanking God for His creation and for all the blessings He provides us is a powerful way to connect with the divine. As you observe the comet, remember to express your gratitude for all that God has done in your life. Gratitude helps us maintain a positive perspective and recognize God's presence in every moment. Finally, the observation of Comet C 2024 G3ATLAS is a call to action. It is an invitation for each of us to seek a deeper connection with the Creator and live according to His teachings. May we take this opportunity to reflect on our lives, seek spiritual transformation, and commit to being light in a world that often seems dark. I invite you to share your reflections on this celestial event. What does Comet ATLAS mean to you? How do you plan to prepare spiritually for its appearance? What changes do you wish to make in your life in light of this phenomenon? Your comments and experiences can inspire others to also seek a deeper connection with God. Let us together take advantage of this unique opportunity and allow the light of the comet to illuminate our spiritual path.